reason that I asked you guys to come here on short notice is one, because the issue came up. Somebody had made a reference to the fact that we support this. I support exempting military veterans' retirement pay from taxation. I think it's a good thing. But because that came up, I want to talk about what other things you are experiencing, you are seeing from families. What other things can the state do to incent having our retired military here in the state of Minnesota? More importantly, how can we help our current military servicemen and women and their families, who frankly are struggling on a regular basis?
I heard somebody last week say we're here talking to pandering to a special interest group. What we're talking about with veterans, these are benefits that we've earned. Right. These aren't things that are giveaways or freebies or handouts that we're taking. Everything we're talking about are benefits that we've earned through our service. And I think that is probably the most important thing as you fight for things.
When the people coming back from military, to give businesses an incentive to really, there's laws that they have to take them back, but a lot of them are reluctant to take them back, and they really don't like when they find out they got military people on weekends, they have to do weekend drills and that.
I went to Iraq in 07, 08. I was a real estate agent for 12 years prior to that time. And when I came back, I didn't have a real estate business. It was pretty much dissolved, at that time. So then I started looking for other work.
That if they go out on strike, get called to active duty, they'll lose their benefit under Soldiers and Sailors Act because they don't have a job. And that's something that should probably be covered if these kids are going on a job, if they're employed.
It's very hard to talk to the governor once he becomes governor. It's easy to discuss with you now, but how can we get to you after with Veterans Affairs and the problems?
But I do know that our country is in great need right now, like never before. We owe more, other countries more than we're worth almost, China and others. And we've got a big job to do together no matter where we're at, and we got to get with it.
He brought his paperwork forward, and it showed clearly to me, and I mean it didn't take rocket science, that this guy qualified for a full military retirement. And yet it wasn't granted to him. He was disabled on base through an accident. And
a gentleman who is not even a veteran has taken part of his land, 16 acres, and there's a small lake on his land, and he's designated that lake as Veterans Lake. He's built several memorials and several flower gardens to the Iraqi veterans. He has a flagpole out there. He has a granite monument that he engraves, the names of all of our veterans that have passed away in Iraq and Afghanistan. He's done this out of his pocket.
There's a lot of things coming down at the VA that unless they get a tremendous amount of funding at the VA level, at the federal level, that they're going to be pushed out to veterans.
When you talk about veterans' pensions, it kind of falls into a one shoe fits everybody. And veterans' pensions don't. They vary from disability to retirement. And even within the retirement...
Isn't it interesting how there's $700 billion available to bail out a bunch of bankers who've made bad investments? But there's not enough money to pay for the commitment we've made to care for our wounded. Maybe we'd better look at what we've just elected to the Congress to decide where the change needs to be made.
Yes. And I understood this. Nice to see you.